Hey, what's going on YouTube? Here I have my limited edition Nintendo 3DS from the Pokemon 20th anniversary. Now I've been having a problem with this 3DS for a while now, to where the B button either won't respond or it'll stick to the point where I have to press it down really hard to even get it to work. And to showcase that, I'm gonna use a game to show how it doesn't work, and that game that I put in is Mario Kart 7. So as you saw from the clip, it was pretty hard for me to get it pushed down. I don't know if you can really tell, but it seems to be a little sunk in, but I definitely had to press really hard to get it to go back to the other screen. So what I did is I went on eBay and I searched up the button board. I don't remember exactly what I typed in. So I went ahead and ordered it on eBay for the new Nintendo 3DS, and this is what it should look like. First, I'm going to unscrew the small Phillips screws on the back plate of the Nintendo 3DS. And on the side, you can see where you can take off the back cover once the screws are loose. And we're gonna set that off to the side for now. And here's the back of the 3DS. You can see pretty clearly where the little Phillips screws are, as well as the little tri-screws that hold in the piece for the micro SD card. We're gonna go ahead and unscrew all of those. Make sure you have a good place so you don't lose them. I use the little case where my screwdriver comes in, just so I can keep them all in an enclosed area. Now, where the micro SD card is held is the only place where we're going to need the tri-wing attachment for the screwdriver to remove the screws. And here we're going to take out the micro SD card. Here we're going to go ahead and remove the battery to expose some screws that we are going to remove later. I almost forgot that you have to remove these two little nubs on the bottom to get the other two screws that you need to remove. And here I got some tweezers to take off the ribbon cable that goes to the micro SD card. You can use a little bit of force, just be careful when you're taking it off. Now we're going to take off the back piece. You want to be careful here because there are still 3 ribbon cables attached, so you don't want to break anything. Now I'm sorry for the quality and the shakiness here, but I used my fingernail to take off these ribbon cables. I found it a lot easier than using the tweezers. And here are where the ribbon cables will be connecting after we're finished. Now this is the board that we are going to be replacing. Here we're going to take out our new board out of the plastic. Next, we're going to remove this red and black little cable that connects to the board. To the left of that, you'll see a little ribbon cable. You're going to want to remove that as well so you can get the other cable out of there. Next, you'll want to remove the ribbon cable that goes to the C-stick. Then you'll want to remove the ribbon cable that goes to the motherboard. Just make sure you lift up on the tab so it comes off correctly. Here I checked the button pads and then the main buttons, make sure there was no grime or anything sticky on there. They already look pretty clean, so I know that that's not my problem. Here are 3 Phillips screws that I'm going to remove that hold the C-stick down. I'm removing this because to me it's a little easier to connect the cable to the new board that way. And here for the cables, it's as easy as just putting them in and making sure the tab snaps down. Now you also want to take the tab off of this one and remove it. Like I said before, to me it's a lot easier doing it this way. Now that you got your main ribbon cable back onto the main board, you want to put this little black and red wire back onto the board. Remember that it goes from black to red, left to right, and it should snap in. It's also important to make sure you put the cable back in that little space so that it's tucked away. If you don't do that, it could cause the back cover to not sit properly. Also, that little ribbon cable that was to the left of those wires, you want to make sure you put that back on. This should also go back right into place as well. Now we're ready to start screwing everything back together, putting all the parts back together. Now that you got all the screws back in place on the button board, we're going to put back the cables where they're supposed to go on the board. Now this part, like I said before, can definitely be a little tricky. I tried using the tweezers again, but it just didn't work for me. I decided that just using my finger and lining it up to the board was just a lot easier. Now if everything is placed back correctly, the back cover should just snap on into place. And here I'm going to put the battery back in just to make sure everything is working for us. So as you just seen, everything works great. The replacement works fantastic. Now what we're going to do is retrace our steps backwards and put everything back together. Like I said before, some of these ribbon cables can be pretty tricky, especially this one, mainly because it's shorter than the rest. But eventually I was able to get it, not with my fingers, but I actually got it with the tweezers this time. And just remember, these are where the tri-wing screws go to. And there you go. After you're done, you should see that everything sits flush, nothing is protruding or bulging. I wouldn't rate this project very hard to do. I'd say maybe on difficulty, maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10. You do have to have a pretty steady hand just to make sure everything is going where it's supposed to, nothing rips or breaks. Some of these parts can be pretty fragile. Anyway, this wasn't too hard of a project to tackle. If it was helpful in any way to you, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.